Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are back in the garage, ready to install the heat upper crash bars into the Yamaha 700 Tenere 2021. Okay, so let's go over the process. I hope this is helpful for those of you that bought the heat kit. I actually also bought the front headlamp guard, and I'm gonna be installing that after we do the crash bars. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, first step, remove the fairing. There's 3 screws there, and there are also 3 plastic ones inside here, so remove that. You can do one side at a time. I started with my left side, and I removed the fairing, as you can see, and I also removed the plastic part here. Removed it because you're gonna need access to these 2 screws right here and to these 2 screws back here. So these are the mounting places right here, and also you're gonna need, let me put a light on, you're gonna need access to the area below the head display. Now you're gonna remove these 2 right here, and then you're gonna have these adapters basically be placed right in here. You see, this is where they go, and the adapter moves forward like this. And it doesn't matter which adapter, you can put them on any side, but these 2 screws mount right there. You're gonna be replacing those screws with these screws, these 2 screws. So it's a matter of just putting them through the plate and then attach them to the head of the bike. Okay, to remove those screws, you're gonna need a 12mm socket and a 5mm Allen. Okay guys, these are the 2 OEM screws and bolts and nuts that are in the head. Make sure that you remove these spacers. You see the spacers? Because the new bolts that you're gonna put in there will not need the spacers, okay? Here we go. Here is the bracket. And as you can see, those are the new screws. So I placed both brackets here, and they're very loose. And now I'm going to tighten those screws right there and continue the assembly. But do not tighten this too much, okay? Leave everything loose for now. 12, but to install the new ones, you're gonna need a 13mm and an open adjustable wrench. Okay guys, so here is, I presented the bar. Here's the bar. I presented it and I checked it, and it's lining up perfectly. You see this here? It's lining up perfectly. Now, be careful here. Why? Because the instructions say to remove first these 2, and these 2 are attaching basically this adapter here that holds the radiator. And one thing that I noticed is that when I loosen this 2, the frame that is down here was not aligning there correctly. It's a little bit off. And when you screw your new screws here, it could potentially damage the thread, because if the holes are not aligned in the back, the screw is gonna damage the thread as you're tightening. So I noticed that right away, and what I did is I used this little, how do you call this, paracord, or this cord, and I looped it right here and through my skid plate, and I tightened it up, trying to align all these holes while I am putting the bar and putting the new screws, okay? You have to do this too at the same time you do the two on the back. So be careful, because the same thing could happen in the back, that the screws are not coming into the holes perfectly aligned, and you can actually damage the screws. So be careful. This is how I solved it. I kind of pulled a little bit here, and the whole tubing moved up a little bit, and then it aligned perfectly. Another thing is I like to screw all these things by hand, tighten them by hand, so I can feel, you know, if I am making an error or if there's some resistance, and I need to be careful for the thread, okay? So watch out. Otherwise, everything is perfect. It lined up very well. And now it's time to basically tighten and put the fairing back, okay? Another watch out is this here. This plate here is mounting. This is basically an adapter that is holding the radiator, okay? So be careful with that, because the plate goes first and then the bar goes on top of the plate, okay? So plate under the bars. Then make sure that you put a washer on your bolt, on your screw when you're tightening, okay? Let's tighten and move to the other side. Is that the OEM that are here go out with a 12mm socket, but to put the new ones, you need a 13mm socket. For the rear ones, you just need a 6mm Allen. That will do the trick, okay? Okay guys, here's a product assembled. You can see I tightened this first, and then the ones that are under here, I am not attaching the front yet. Then I made sure that I really like this heat products. For my S10, I was able to remove the side panels very well, and for this one the same applies. So I was able to place the panel in very snugly through between the bars and the motorcycle, and it fit perfectly. Now I'm going to go and attach the points, 3 points, and that will finalize this side, okay? Guys, this is the front of the bike. In the front of the bike, you have a long screw with a spacer in the middle that will grab both plates that you have on both sides. Remember to leave these plates loose, so when you are attaching this, you can fit this spacer properly. I'm going to move to the left side, to the right side of the bike. Actually, I already removed the fairing, and now just a recap. Basically, we're going to remove this plastic fairing too out of here. We're gonna unscrew these two first, and then these two second. Then we're gonna present the crash bar and screw back first, then these two here second. Loosen everything, leave it loose until you fit it properly here, and then screw it in the front and tighten. So that's it, guys. The bar is presented. I put the two screws here. I also put my line here to align it. It worked perfectly this time. And now I am tightening the rear. I'm gonna tighten the front. And as you can see, this here lined up perfectly. Here is the spacer in between the two bars. And then I will finish by tightening the screws under the headlamp, okay? Okay guys, finished product, solid. Everything fitted perfectly. Back here, everything perfect, solid. I love this crash boards. I don't know, I like heat. I had a great experience on with my S10, and you know, I had to wait a long time for this because they were not shipping to the US. I think what I like about this product is that it kind of moves the tubing with the contour of the front fairing, and it's very clear to me that you can see the branding and everything. Okay, so here's the final build, guys. I decided to buy this front headlamp cover because of the fact that, first of all, it was super cheap. When you buy the whole package, it's very inexpensive. Second, I tend to ride mostly during the day. I would say 98%. And I'm more afraid of a rock breaking this than not having enough lighting in the front of the bike. Now, for that, I also plan to install here in these beautiful heat bars, a very, probably spotlights, maybe here, or maybe a light bar to increase the amount of light in front of the bike. But this is the full build. It includes the headlamp cover, and then I also opted for the these are the heat bags. I actually had an S10, my Super Tenere. I had heat bars, and I bought the bags before. And I found that these bags are super useful, especially for long trips, to carry stuff, you know, extra tubes and gloves and all that. I do not like tank bags. I feel like it interferes with all the thing in front of me. I have my GPS, so I don't need like anything in there for now. So I opted to buy these bags, and I think they are really well made. Right now they're empty. They fit perfectly inside of the bars. The build came out great. I'm very happy with these bars, as I was happy with the previous set that I bought. Everything fitted perfectly. Everything was very accurate, I would say. So kudos to the people from Heat. I'm a fan of Heat products, and here's my latest and finished build. Feel very comfortable with this now. I'm confident that these bars are going to protect the bike very well, and I highly recommend this as a build. It was very easy to install, very easy to figure it out. Keep watching my videos. If you like them, thumbs up. If you feel like sharing them, share them, and I'll keep posting. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching.